those invisible pages before our story began, Alex decided to stop taking her medication and to be a girl. She's not sure whose reaction was worse, her mother who went crazy or her father who just went. Now Alex is determined to establish her true identity, even if she has to do it all by herself. She'll buy the clothes, wear the makeup, even enroll in a new school. It shouldn't matter whether she wants to be a boy or a girl, but Alex knows that for her, this is who she needs to be. This is a brilliant book which considers one of the most important issues of the day, that of gender and sexuality. Alex is born intersex, neither distinctly physically male or female. Her parents decided to raise her as a boy throughout her childhood, but Alex has started to realise that isn't who she is. Who she is female. Such a decision is inevitably faced by difficulties. Difficulties in parents who can't deal with her, in friends who can't or won't understand, and even difficulties within herself as she tries to marry together the disparate aspects of her personality. It's a wonderful story, and for anyone out there interested in aspects of identity, in people as male, female, or something else, this is definitely a book for you. Alex is a really good narrative voice, but one of my favourite things about this book is that we're given chapters from the point of view of her mother. This was not just because they were framed as posts on a blog with the mixture of loving, horrible, and just weird comments that any user of the internet must be familiar with, but also because in no other YA book have I felt able to understand the parents so clearly. Even though you sympathise with Alex so much, the mother's pains aren't entirely unfounded. She wants Alex to talk to her. She really does want to love her. It makes you wince every time she acts in what you as the reader can clearly see is the exact wrong way to go about the situation. I will say that when I started this book, I wasn't sure I liked one of the main devices it employed. That is, of Alex envisioning themselves as two voices, a male Alex and a female Alex within the one body. It seemed to be generally that female Alex was in control and that male Alex would give her unwanted commentary, intrusive thoughts, occasionally burst out and take the reins. I worried this compared intersexuality to a mental disorder such as paranoid schizophrenia, and that it cemented the idea of gender as binary when we should be viewing it as a spectrum. Then I remembered that when I was about 14, I used to imagine myself as three people in one. I knew what I was doing was very different to a mental disorder. I knew I was not three people. I just thought I was a person who could be described upon the variability of three axes. Because, to steal Mr. Green's words, people resist simplicity. Viewing ourselves as being on a spectrum of gender is definitely a useful model, definitely much better than the archaic dichotomy we used to have. But then, viewing ourselves as beings with specific bits from what we used to describe as different genders can be useful as well. Various odd aspects from what we would typically define as one gender or another, working in accord or collision, and at different points in our life to different weights. It's another model in which we can try to envision our highly complex selves. The one thing I worry about, in a way, is this book is too good. This book considers elements of gender, elements of sexuality, and the one it's most been labelled for, elements of biological sex. This book has educated me, forcing me to look into issues that I've just never considered because they don't personally affect me. I didn't know how common it was to be born with some definition of intersexuality, according to some definitions as common as being born with red hair. I guess my final codicil to this book would be to remind readers that it's not only people who are intersex that question their gender, and on top of that, it's not only people who are questioning their gender that question their sexuality. But take those thoughts and go read it. I will, as always, leave a link down below to where you can buy it, but you can try and win one off me instead. I have a lovely copy, which I'd be showing you if it wasn't at my home in London, signed by Alyssa Brugman, the author herself, ready for you to win. All you have to do is post a comment down below. In a week's time, I'll announce the winner. Tell me down below if you're interested in intersexuality and gender dysmorphia. Tell me what you already know and how this book might enlighten you. I'll enter all your usernames into a hat. Well, spreadsheet. My next video will actually be an interview with Alyssa herself, talking about her writing of this book. Hope you're all looking forward to it. Bye guys.